You're listening to a main feed episode. Go to patreon.com/Celtic Ligers where €5 a month gets you weekly full-length episodes, stray bonus content and access to the back catalogue. Also helps cover hosting and gives us money for sweeties. Thank you. Celtic Ligers.
Recorded November 6th, 2025.
Welcome to Celtic Ligers.
Yeah, to the Scrubs Hour. We've started, so we must continue.
The way I said, well, I was, yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, okay, fine. I was going to say that the way I said that reminded me of Stavros Halkias going like, welcome to the, one of the stupid voices he puts on. And then I remembered that he was in Bugonia. And then I remembered I didn't like Bugonia.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
He's made a real transformation into...
Yeah.
What would you even call him now?
Zero alcohol, just letting you know.
Wow, righteous.
Into what?
Like a different sort of fat, nice guy. You know what I mean?
I feel like, he feels like this trajectory. I remember Peter McGann said this about Taika Waititi. He said, they're fattening him up for a nice cancellation. And
it's 100% what's happened. Like, it's amazing he's gotten this far. You know what I mean?
Know.
Like, he was doing stuff with your man Zohran.
Yeah.
Zohran the Destroyer.
Yeah. I love how nobody in Irish media knows how to say his name or cares to know how to say his name.
Zohran Mamdani.
They call him Mamdani. Yeah, they keep doing that. They go, Zohran Mamdani. And I was like, or Mamdani. And you're just kind of like, come on, man. There's a fucking N. You can see it. You can read it.
And Zohran Mammy threatens to take the wooden spoon out on...
Nice. Andrew Cuomo.
Andrew Cuomo. And Andrew Cuomo says he will enjoy it.
His speech, he would. Do you see his speech where although he wouldn't because he hates old people, but there's Andrew Cuomo, get it? Yeah?
Yes, he killed them all.
Okay. He killed them all. His speech was like, afterwards kind of like, yeah, whatever, fuck. He was like getting real hostile about it. And then people were like, boo, Zohran. He's like, no, come on, kind of doing this thing. Like, it was real, like, I know people use the word Trumpian quite a lot, but like, it was just that thing of getting everybody to boo and then going, come on, what's wrong with these guys booing? Yeah, like he didn't invite that constantly. And so not gracious in defeat. And then the first thing on RTE News, I was interested to see how they'd cover it. And they got this, there's this guy, they were like, we're going to interview some Democratic Party strategist, which is like, I was like, well, I got to see his social media. And of course, like to look at his social media, you wouldn't even know that Zohran Mamdani had won at all. It was all like, what we're most excited about is, the fucking Ohio gubernatorial race that was won by, this woman who is like, I don't know, flies to fucking Tel Aviv every Sunday. Do you know what I mean? Like it was kind of, the thing that they've tried to do is they've tried to say that they're, like with Catherine Connolly here, there's nothing really exceptional about this.
Yeah.
When the idea is that the Democrats lost the primary, Andrew Cuomo dropped out, and then he ran against him as an independent, and then none of the Democratic establishment would endorse him, Zohran Mamdani.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they win, and then they're like, okay, let's go talk to a Democrat. Why? Why are you talking to a Democrat? Why are you talking to any? Like, it was crazy.
There's another tally on the Indian belt. Do you get me? Do you get what I'm saying?
You mean like Kamala and now Zohran? Actually, he's Ugandan.
He's Indian.
I think his mother is Pakistani or something.
Let's look this up.
But he's born in Uganda.
Look, I'm not getting into the racial politics of it all.
Yeah. Then we'll leave that to the Laszlos of the world, am I right?
Uh,
I don't know if you've seen his latest.
yeah. But then I remembered he really is just a completely unaffiliated guy now. You know what I mean?
He's just so fucking...
Where is he? Where's this chap? Well, that sort of nukes my point, I suppose.
Right.
Both of his parents are Indian.
Oh, no, his parents are Indian. His parents are Indian.
Okay, good.
I take it all back.
You know, there's a lot of Indians in positions of power around the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
Look where we're at.
Ireland,
UK.
UK, all of it.
Did you already say UK? Okay.
Wales.
Wales.
Wasn't the Welsh guy from Wales?
I think you're right, yeah.
Scotland.
Yeah.
India, obviously. Now New York.
Now New York.
You don't stop watching
not
that
very-
TV. That bloody TV.
Zainab's playing that game. What's it called? The Binding of Isaac. It's very distracting.
I can see you watching it.
All right, I'm going to try and position the... I'm going to be lurking, but I'm going to like tilt my laptop screen so I can't see it. All I can see is you. Do you see? She asks why it's distracting.
Because incredibly high-paced, fast game, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like flashing colours.
It'd be like, there's a fucking, hive of bees in the corner. Are you finding it distracting? It's like a little bit, it's like a little hive of activity, literally, if it were bees.
Regarding bees, and then the game is like bees.
It is like bees. My opinions on Zohran, I feel like I'm ready to be disappointed by him, very much so. But I am happy that they're happy.
I feel like he's going to be a moderately good, guy.
Yeah.
Every so often you look over and he'll do something, and you're like, "That's good. He's doing that."
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
I don't think he's going to do something. But I think it'll be like, he was been interviewed by your man. That British guy does interviews. He's also Indian.
Krishna? Guru Murthy?
He's English.
Yeah, Krishna.
I think he's a newsreader.
What was his
Maybe
name?
look it up. They go to my Indian.
Mehdi Hassan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on my Indian Excel file and go to the
Look up. I don't
M's.
even know if Zainab can confirm. Mehdi Hassan, is he of Pakistani origin? Or not origin. He's not born in Pakistan, but you know what I'm saying.
It
His
says
parents
here
are
he's
Shia
British,
Muslim. Yeah, exactly.
and he was born in Swindon.
They're from Hyderabad in... So he's Indian. Man, I'm
Boom.
really
Boom.
Yeah, I really shouldn't have. I don't know why I bothered to...
I mean, there's 1.5 billion Indians, and there's probably 400. How many Pakistanis do you think there are?
I'm not even going to stagger
Why?
a guess at this point.
How many people do you think live in Pakistan?
Oh, no, I don't know numbers of anything. Okay, I don't even know how many people live in Ireland. All right,
Do you think there's more or less that live in England?
Pakistani people than there is people living in all of England.
Yeah.
I would say there's more people in Pakistan.
Okay. More or less than America.
Less than America.
Yeah, so you're about right. It's 241 million.
Okay.
And there's a billion Indians. 1.5 billion Indians.
Yeah.
So when in doubt, just guess Indian. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm doing that sort of liberal thing of like, excuse me, they're not Chinese. They're from the Sichuan province or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
You're kind of like, you don't need to get, like, nobody's going to hate you for not knowing, you know?
Yeah.
They drew a line in the middle of the country, not in the middle, but you know what I'm getting saying that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like there are these massive ethnic differences, okay?
Yeah.
But there is ethnic, you know what I'm talking about? Not like that, okay? But when it comes to like religion, obviously. But then with Mehdi Hassan, you go, well, Mehdi Hassan is Muslim. So he's probably, maybe if I say he's Pakistani, they go, no, he's not of Pakistani heritage. He's of Indian heritage, you idiot. And it's like, no, but like, you know, anyway. This is going into dangerous territory, isn't it? Maybe I should stop.
This is into ethno-guesser territory. What was his name again?
Zohran Mamdani or Mehdi Hassan?
Mehdi Hassan was interviewing Mamdani. He was like, would you still arrest Netanyahu?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, Mamdani was like, well, let's look at the context. As in, he's been committing a genocide, and he's wanted by the International Criminal Court.
Yeah.
And he didn't quite go to the thing of like, so I would arrest him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's the tenor of what he's going to be like.
Yeah.
Like you'd
Which
love
is a shame.
You'd love if he was like, yeah, I'd shoot him on sight, you know? But on the other hand, it's better to have the guy who's like at least called it a genocide.
I guess I'd make that argument if he hadn't won as a direct result of saying stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know where it's like, they ask you, what are you going to do about the cops? Oh, I'm going to defund them. Okay, what are you going to do with Netanyahu? Oh, I'm going to arrest them. You know, where would you go? Israel. No, I'm going to stay in New York. You know? And then it's like, okay, now the closer you get to power, and even just slightly before you won, one of the ones that really upset me, to be honest, I don't care. Like what? So he appeared on Chapo just for a brief interview before the election. And Will Menaker was basically like, you said that you're going to like defund the police and you've been taking a more radical line against them. But I've noticed that you have said that you're going to keep on like, is there a police commissioner? There's somebody who was a negative part of like the Colombia protests. And he was like, I don't know why would you do that? You know? And he's like, he just gave this real politician answer. And I was like, oh, fuck. It was just Obama all over again, of just this feeling of like, you were meant to bring balance to the force, not destroy it. You know, like,
yeah.
And then the other thing he was asked, they asked him like, how are you going to vote on these propositions? Okay. I don't know anything about them. But what he said was, Zohran Mamdani said, well, I'll reveal that on election day. Okay.
Clever.
And
Shrewd.
then Will Menaker was like, okay, and what's something about baseball? Do you think the Cardinals are going to, you know, something like that? And you're just like, fuck this, man.
Wade is such a suck up sometimes, you know what I mean?
I know.
Mamdani's wife is unreal as well. I think I've said that before.
I don't think you have.
I don't know. It's crazy. You see the picture?
Yeah.
Did you see the video of they're at the count?
Yeah.
And
someone like stroking his chin.
Someone shouts over and they're like, Dick Cheney died.
Yeah.
Did you see that one? And he's like,
I did.
What?
I didn't really. Yeah.
He's dead. And then he just like turns away. Clearly,
what I saw was funny, which is there's like a beat in his face where he's almost about to do like the kind of like, oh, we're sorry. And then he kind of goes, actually, I don't need to do that because people are voting today. You know, like it was almost like, I was like, I can just pretend I didn't hear that. And then he turned away. But it really sounded like he was about to kind of do some sort of magnanimous answer about like the politician thing and then decided against it.
That bit's over. The people coming out and being like Dick Cheney was a... I'm gonna check. Can you put up Simon Harris's Twitter?
Yeah. I didn't think that anybody said anything about Dick. I didn't see anything about Dick Cheney.
Look, the two I saw were Nancy Pelosi and I think Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I saw Kamala say that. She said that before she congratulated Zohran Mamdani. It was crazy. I mean, of course she would because it was election day, but you get my meaning. Like I went to see. I was going there to see, did she go, hey, vote for Zohran? Or did she say, hey, congratulations, Zohran? The first tweet is just like, I'm so sorry to hear about Dick Cheney.
Like, it's so funny.
Oh, God.
Like, Dick Cheney was a monster, you know?
Yeah. The passing of Sister Stan. No, he didn't say anything about Dick Cheney.
I wonder if... Nah, he's the only one who would.
He's too busy going, burn them out. Burn them out.
Yeah.
Do we want to go back to our review of Bugonia? Or no?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Shout out to my housemate Tom.
Yeah.
Who's in hospital.
Yeah.
He's
I was just reflexive. I'm gonna edit this out, but I was reflexively about to go, yeah, rip and pour one out for real.
Pour one out. I'm sure he would appreciate it anyway. He's the same thing Simon Harris has.
No spine.
Autism.
Your one was funnier.
I know he listens to the podcast, weirdly enough, by the fact that he is my housemate.
Yeah, yeah. I remember he said something like he'd hear you saying something and then you'd either say it on stage or on the podcast, and he was like, he was cooking that one up, you know? He's brilliant.
What else? What else in the news?
I have a few things.
Dick Cheney's dead. Like, it's mad to see. Cheney is like Ian Paisley. You know what I mean? Like, remember when Ian Paisley died and everyone was just like,
yeah,
thank God he's dead.
Yeah,
like, even the papers were like,
yeah,
you know, finally, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Cheney should be the same way. Like, there should be no one who's like, oh, it's complicated. It should just be like, this guy is fucked up and he deserves to rot in hell.
Yeah, it was really like unambiguous. Like, it was like, remember when Thatcher died and then it seemed like they were trying their best to find people, you know?
Yeah.
Going, oh, sorry she died. Oh, then I'm sad. And then the majority of them were like, there was just too many of people who did not feel that way. But obviously the famous one is like, I hope they buried her with some garlic around her neck and put a stake through her heart. Was that Scottish woman who I think she only died last year actually. But she was great. And then of course Sean Locke, you know, should Margaret Thatcher get a state funeral? And he's like, I don't care as long as the bitch is dead. And then they show David Baddiel next to her and just kind of having this face on like, oh. He's not like disagree, but he's just like, I don't want to be seen laughing at this. It's very distasteful, you know?
They should bury Dick Cheney at sea, like blow his face off and drop him from a helicopter.
Yeah. Just wait, are you clicking something? Are you like twanging something over there with metal? Okay.
I'll put it away now.
That's getting picked up, but whatever. As long as you're aware of it, I don't care. But yeah, now that you mentioned him getting his face blown off, do you remember that time where he blew somebody else's face off and then they apologized to him?
Yeah. I'd love to have that.
That was
sort
a famous
power.
Dick Cheney one. Yeah. Yeah. Did you see, actually, sorry, Trump was in China and he was talking about being impressed by all of Xi's, like, he was like, I've never seen men so afraid. I wish it'd be like that here. He said, like, at one point he asked this guy a question and then the guy didn't respond. And he was like, what the hell? And then he realized that he was waiting for Xi's permission to respond. And Trump was just looking at that going like, wow, imagine, I love that here. He was talking about how JD Vance like talks too much and how he'd love to have him like...
See JD Vance dancing with your man's wife.
Which wife?
Charlie Kirk's
wife.
Yeah,
Charlie Kirk. Did you see that for Halloween he went as the photo that people used to make fun of him, and that also some people were deported for having on their phones?
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I say deported, they arrive in the country and then their phones are checked and then this photo was on it and then they get deported back, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like I posted this and then ICE busted down my door, although it's probably going that way.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like dancing with the wife and she was like running her hands through his hair and stuff.
Yeah. His
really
thick hair. He's so weird looking.
They're all such like freaks in a different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she's really been acting weird.
She did.
I know her husband.
Somebody caught a video of this. I don't know how true this is, but you could see her putting in the teardrops before she went on. I mean, I saw the footage, so I believe that it happened, but I don't want to sound too conspiratorial, so I'm kind of saying,
yeah,
the jury's out. But I believe it. So,
do you think he was gay or do you think he was in love with Candace Owens?
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
I think he was gay.
Do you see the text?
I think their relationship. Well, I think their relationship was more like, the gay best friend.
You see the text he sent her about Kanye West?
No.
You're like this. You like Kanye?
I do, actually, for my sins. I remember one time I dated this girl when I was like in my early 20s and she liked Kanye and I was like, you're a fucking idiot. And then years later I liked Kanye and I was like, I'm so sorry. I was so horrible about you liking Kanye.
Candace Owens shares texts. Let me see. Is that thing where it's a tweet and then screenshot in the tweet?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Just
are you sending it to me or are you reading it out?
I'm reading it.
Oh, good.
He texts her a screenshot of him listening to Monster by Kanye West.
Mm.
And he goes, first things first, I eat your brains. And he's like quoting the song.
Yeah.
And he's just quoting the whole song. And then he goes, when Nicki drops, I lose my mind. And then he has like a big smiley face.
Yeah, he does. Got a horrible smiley face, I would say. You know, stupid grin.
Yeah. I'm going to send this chick so it reads better than it.
Did you ever see that time where he's, you know that thing that they do where they put like 10 conservatives versus Mehdi Hassan?
Oh,
you know that one?
Yeah.
And they did the one with Charlie Kirk and then he's like smiling and she's like, can you stop smiling? It's really creepy. And he's like, my smile is creepy? You're afraid of a smile? And it's like, yeah, when you do it, it's fucking rotten, man.
That's funny. He did have a freaky smile.
Horrible. I know plenty of people who have like more gum than tooth, but his more gum than tooth is just so horrible man inside and out.
And now he's dead.
Thanks be to God. Yeah. Oh my God, Nicki's verse on that is the best. Says, that's not Charlie, that's her saying that. And then he goes, first things first, I eat your brains.
I think that's him saying.
Yes. No, it's not.
How did you know?
I have no idea which one's meant to be blue and which one's... Oh, yeah, no, I don't know which one it is.
Let me see. Wait, the one on the right is you.
Okay.
And the one on the left.
Yeah, and then he goes, first things first, I eat your brains. Yes. OMG, this makes me so happy, says Candace Owens. Then he goes, Sasquatch, Godzilla, King Kong, Loch Ness, Goblin, Gula, Zombie with no conscience. And then a kind of arm raised emoji, and then a...
You're not supposed to be like, I'm serving.
You literally just said this. Sorry.
Keep going.
When Nikki drops, I lose my mind. She is the best. I do my weights to that song. Jay-Z's verse is amazing too. Makes me think of where I'm at. All I get is these fake fucks with no fangs trying to draw blood from my ice cold veins. Then Charlie responds, yes, it gets the blood flowing. I am about to run a few miles jamming to it. And then she says, I am loving your hip hop development.
Yeah, that is a conversation from like the Irish oral exam, you know?
Yeah.
I love Kanye West. I love his, and Jay-Z too.
Genuinely, like I was thinking about that, where like Candace Owens is black, and then she's like, "You certainly know your hip hop, sir," with Kanye West and Jay-Z, and I'm just like,
the most famous rappers in history. Like, this is
like I don't want to be making some sort of, but like black Americans, I think even the most out of touch black American would have deeper pulls than Kanye West and Jay-Z. Do you know?
And if they didn't, they wouldn't be like, you know your stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you ever see that Vine of, I think it's a Vine, where it's the guy who doesn't know what music is? Have you seen that? And then he's like, I'll put it on. I'll find it. I'll fucking find it. It's a real Vine, though.
So many good Vines
you know
out there.
I was thinking about recently how like sometimes I'll go back and watch Vine compilations, and for a while they were very funny, and then they stopped being funny, and because it's like the humor just feels so of a little pocket of time, you know. And now it's like for a while there I couldn't listen to podcasts from before COVID because I could hear it in their voice that they hadn't experienced COVID. And that's what like Vine is like now. Now I'm willing to embrace TikTok because I'm like, this is like Vine that's been through COVID. All right, here we go. I'll share this with you.
Zombies good.
First things first, I'll share this with you. But this is what it's like, okay? You know this one? Is this guy a sex pest? I hope not.
I don't know. Okay.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Is this music? I can't get enough of that sweet music. Hey, how about we get some music on here, huh? There is music on? That's great. I love music. This is good. Is this animals? Instruments? That's great. If I ever have a kid, I'm gonna let him listen to music because music seems pretty fine to listen to. How about we turn on some music? I've turned off the music. I love this song. Put it where? I love this song. It's not playing. I love this song. This is my favorite part. The song's over. I know. Now I'm hearing the music coming from here. Is it from the green or from the black? From the black? I love that. I love hearing this. Can you hear this too? Or is it just, you can? That's great. Cool. Wow, music, you're sounding great and they can't hear me. That's too bad.
Yep, there you go.
That was funny.
It's like that. It is funny, isn't it?
Play another one.
Zainab's trying to, what?
Play another one.
But like he was a bunch of girls
Wait, yeah, go on.
went on dates with him.
Yeah.
And he would just go on the one date.
Is that fuck boy?
Yeah.
He's a fuck boy.
Yeah, and they were trying to cancel him.
They were trying to cancel him, but it didn't work because he's only a fuck boy.
Yeah, no moment.
But a humble fuck boy. Stavros Halkias on Late Night with Seth Meyer. Play another Vine or what? Another Vine. What's a good Vine? I love the wow Vine. Oh, fuck. Don't look at any of that. Don't look at any of that.
Just. I won't look.
Okay. What Vine do you want? What Vine do you want?
Just click the search and I'll have a think now.
Fuck off. just gonna look real quick. Feels like no, can't even. I just had a quick scan, see if there's anything bad. Is there? I looked up the Voice of Ireland intro just because I find it very funny the way they go. There's a pause between the voice of. They go. Wait, you tell me if this is funny. I think it's funny. And they go, this is the voice of Ireland. It's like the...
Did I send you that? I sent you that Simpsons clip, and I had never seen it before.
Which one?
Okay, let me get it up now. Well, maybe I didn't send it. Oh yeah, I did. I'll send it to you again. Since you missed it the first time.
Where'd you send it?
I've sent it to you again.
This is the voice of Ireland.
It'll be in your WhatsApp folder now.
No, now I gotta open up my WhatsApp. Oh, I love that. That's one of my favorites.
I've never seen
there's some remix of it. You never saw it where Homer has Boo-Goo. Here's the fit.
My name is Richie Sakai. I'm an anesthesiologist, and I'd like to dedicate this next song to my wife, Patty.
I was born in the wagon of a traveling show. Mama used to dance for the money they throw. Papa would do whatever he could.
I love that. No, that we had that on video. Homer goes to a sushi restaurant and then eats improperly prepared Boo-Goo, and so he only has like 24 hours to live. Really? Do you remember when Bart and Lisa do the Shaft theme song?
No.
Really? Oh, that one's funny as well. He's a complicated man. What?
Get that up.
Okay.
Let's see.
I already looked this up actually. See what I got here. The Fantastic Four 1994 cameos in Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four First Steps featurette. Then Sending Carrigan's Ghost Back to the Afterlife from Casper. And then Buster, Sister's My New Mother from Arrested Development. I was looking up that clip because I was listening to a bunch of stuff about, we were always talking about Irish business people who think that they're really important, but they're just really stupid. I remember the clip from the bit from Arrested Development where Job and Tobias end up creating a company called Go Bias Industries, and then they put a business proposal to Michael, and then they're like, so can we get our money now? And then he's like, well, the money might not be there anymore, it's now tied up in this land deal. And then Tobias goes, well, this is the first any of us from Go Bias Industries is hearing about this. I don't know, I just thought that's what it feels like listening to like any Irish businessman talk about this stuff. It's like, who the fuck are you? Shut up.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shaft theme song. Here we go. Bart and Lisa.
Who's the black pride of dick that's a sex machine to all the chicks? Shaft. You're damn right. Who's the cat that won't cop out when there's danger all about? Shaft. Right on. They say this cat Shaft's a bad mother.
Shut your mouth.
But I'm talking about Shaft.
Then I can dig it.
He's a complicated man, but no one understands him but his woman.
John Shaft.
It's a sweeter time in The Simpsons. I was another one, like, it's just a softer. It wasn't as funny. Well, it was funny, but in a different way to the Conan O'Brien sort of stuff. But do you remember the bit where like Homer goes to like reconcile with his father and then crosses that off of the list? And then his father wants to spend more time with him and he has to keep crossing things off of his list that he wanted to do before he died.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, play catch with the old man. And then he's scratching off like planting a tree. And he's like, I really wanted to do that one. And then eventually like he's leaving in the car to go back and ride Marge. And then his dad's coming up and like going, I love you. Yeah. Like,
yeah, they used to call it snuggling.
Yeah. They used to call. you know, when he was fucking Marge. He used to call it snuggling.
Yeah. Because
He's
remember
going
there's a
balls
time
deep.
where Marge is having a freak out for some reason.
Yeah.
And the police are outside and they get Homer to talk to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, we can snuggle. Everyone laughed. Why was she so angry about that time?
She was anxious because she just pushed to her fucking limit, and then she had to go to Rancho Relaxo. And then it's also the one I was looking at I don't know, I guess it was just the ones that I had on video, but you remember the bit where he loses Maggie and then he rings up the phone line for like, this is the missing babies off the department, please hold. And it's like, baby, come back, it's a baby. I was looking that up as well, baby come back. I always thought it was, what?
Where did Maggie go?
She just went on a runabout trying to find Marge, and then she ended up on top of that ice cream parlor.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
does it look like Marge? Yeah.
Yeah, and then Chief Wiggum brings her back and he's like, somebody missing a baby, and he's about to give out to Homer, and Homer starts kissing him, and then he goes, just don't do it again, you big lug. I love these ones where I was thinking about the gags where it's just a hold on a character doing like some small bit of movement, or like a loop, like in that one where Homer, he doesn't die, obviously, but remember he's like, I'm going to live every day to the fullest, and then the credits is just him eating pork rinds.
Oh yeah. I guess I never appreciated how much Conan O'Brien changed The Simpsons.
When did he start writing it? I mean, I think he was writing on it from the start, but like when you think about like the monorail episode, you know, I was thinking about this is so like, just to keep going, like drawing this thing that happened in real life reminded me of a thing in The Simpsons. Just it happens all the time, and there's no way to avoid it. But you know where all of the news items that they'll have, where it's like, businesses are losing faith in Ireland, and so they need these things to happen, otherwise they won't build houses, or they won't give us jobs, you know. And I was reminded of the bit in the monorail episode where he goes, it's more of a Shelbyville idea, and he's like, well now wait a minute, we're way smarter than the people of Shelbyville, just tell us your idea and we'll vote for it. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, but that one is like such a Conan O'Brien idea of like Lyle Lanley, just a guy in a little hat with a little cane, you know, and he's like, just comes into town, and then he's like, you know, a town with money's a little like a mule with a spinning wheel. Dang, nobody knows how they got it, and damned if they know how to use it, you know. And all the college stuff as well, very funny.
Yeah, but like Conan O'Brien doesn't really have like a depth of emotion.
No, not at all.
Even to himself.
No, not at all. You know, I remember
he never
watching
Homer crying when this was
no.
the guy.
He had I just remember that, you know, when the thing with Jay Leno happened, and then he went on that tour, and then they made a documentary called Conan O'Brien Can't Stop, which I watched. It's so embarrassing to think that I was like, I can't believe that NBC would do that to Conan O'Brien. I was like upset on his behalf, you know, and you're just like, what the fuck?
I've never talked about it in college too.
Yeah, just standing there in the shared kitchen in college, like shaking your head. I can't believe it. I can't believe they do that to him. The other guy going like, yeah. What were they thinking? Like Leno had left.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always going to be a bit of a lag when the previous host leaves. They should have given him the time to find his audience.
Well, Leno got what was coming to him then. I think we can all
eventually
agree on that.
Yeah.
Eventually, karma found its way. What he did to Conan.
Karma, you say, yeah?
Yeah. Armageddon. He got burnt alive and survived.
Did you see that footage of Conan O'Brien when he goes to Israel? No. And then at one point he goes off and he visits like bits of Palestine. But while he's like outside, then this woman just confronts him, kind of being like, you're going over and you're filming Israel, but you're not going to go to Palestine. He's like, yes, I am actually. I'm going to the West Bank. And they're like, yeah, you're going with them. They're only going to show you the bits that they want you to see. And he's kind of getting like, listen. And he actually gets like really testy with them. And they get into a back and forth. And they keep it in. But it was meant to be this thing of like, I'm going around the world and I'm going to use comedy to kind of show how we can like bridge the divides and all this stuff.
Yeah.
While we were filming at the wall, I was confronted by a group of pro-Palestinian activists.
What do you think of this wall? Is this a normal wall?
Well, no, I don't think any wall like this is normal. Do you?
I'm Palestinian. Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
No, it's sad.
It's very sad.
Like
it's an open air prison at the end of the day. That's not, you don't create peace by segregating people. And they can't keep saying, oh, well, they throw rocks. You've got M16s. You've got tanks. You can't compare that.
There's also another side of it where there are people who would say we don't want the Jewish state to exist at all. We don't want to accept it at all.
If you speak to Palestinians, you can go into refugee camps, which they would never take you, right? But you would be welcomed, and people will welcome you into their home and give you the clothes.
No, we're on our way to. We wanted to go to a refugee camp.
But with the IDF?
No, we're not going with the IDF.
No.
We were headed.
Ida camp you're going to.
Let me ask you a question. What do you see as a solution?
As a solution, well, one, America has to stop giving Israel $10 million a day just for weapons. Right. Once the weapons stop, Israel has no choice but to talk about peace.
And if American people knew where their money was going, and the fact that when our wonderful orange president got elected, and people are very sad that
let's not go after him for having orange hair. Yeah. Now you're getting personal with me. Now you have a problem with me.
It's his orange face.
It's his face.
No, but
that got very personal very fast. Well, here's what I can tell you. I can tell you that there's no way my 40-minute program is going to satisfy what it is you want me to do. Now, let me just finish. What I do promise to do is make sure that people who watch this program will have an idea that this other reality exists. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you. And if you're cool with us putting this online, as it unfolded, I'd be happy to do that.
Okay. The unedited version of this encounter can be found online, but to be fair, I must emphasize we did not have a similar conversation with the people who dispute these views.
You know, it's the usual shit that they do, which actually might be worth bringing up because of another movie I saw, but you know where it's like, whenever they go to like Israel and then they go to Palestine, it'll be like, Gal Gadot is going to take me go-karting in Tel Aviv. And then they go to Palestine, it's like, you know, this guy is going to walk me through the rubble and show how like miserable he is. You know, and it's kind of, it's like... It's a propaganda that actually sort of enforces that this is the position the Palestinians should be in. You know, this is their natural habitat. We're the fun uncle. They're the ones who want to tell you about like, oh God, are they talking about that again? I'm sorry, you're just on holiday trying to have a good time. You know, but anyhow, I saw Palestine 36. I did a double feature for my birthday. I did Palestine 36 and then immediately ran into Bugonia straight afterwards, which is just one of the worst, the least complimentary films you could possibly have. It was awful. But it was good.
Bugonia. Bad film. Not bad, but...
Well, it is bad because there is another better version of the film that exists. So it's like... And it annoys me because... I see everybody going like, oh, what a weird film. And I'll give it like 4 stars on Letterboxd. And you're like, you got no idea. Have you watched the original? You can't watch the...
Are you on Letterboxd?
I'm on Letterboxd now, yeah. I've used it to just catalogue the films that I saw.
On it?
Probably just Gareth Lyons. You can go crazy with it. Gareth Lyons, MC.
You still haven't followed me back.
I still haven't followed Zainab back. And now that she said that, I'm not going to.
Gareth, you bastard!
Whoa,
I think my name is Gary Lyons on it. Yes, I got a LinkedIn.
Crazy.
Baby, come back.
Let's see. Favorite films.
Are you looking at mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, go for it. I have nothing to hide. Wait, no, you're just going to make up stuff now.
No. Favorite movies. Okay. Homecoming. Top 5 favorite movies. Homecoming. Cat's Eye.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. I was like, what's he doing? I thought you were going to list off all the Spider-Man movies. You're going to be like, Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah. The General's Daughter, number 3.
That's very funny.
Have you? I'm actually wondering if you've given any films. Very curious now to see what films you've enjoyed.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me see. I give 5-star. I do a version of that binary thing where I give it either half a star. This is stupid. Half a star, or I like it. What is it? What does I want to do again? Half a star,
or 5 stars,
or just a like. You know, the heart. To be like, oh, I liked it, or I give it 5 stars and a heart, which means that I liked it, or I don't give it anything, and it means I'm kind of ambivalent on it.
Cat's Eye, a bad movie featuring a very good boy. Homecoming, half a star. Star Trek 3, 5 stars and a heart. The General's Daughter, half a star.
I hate that one.
Roald Dahl's The Witches, appalling is what it says here.
Yeah. It was really bad. The 2020 Witches movie is exceptionally bad.
Bright Night Part 2, alike. The Frighteners.
Yeah, I like The Frighteners. I can't help it.
What is it?
It's that Peter Jackson movie where Michael J. Fox plays an exorcist, but he's only conning people out of money because he can see ghosts, so he coordinates with them to haunt people's houses, and then...
How come you don't do the funny ones that are like... This is like if, you know, you're watching like Bugonia and you're like, this is what white people think is psychological. You never do that. You never do the funny one.
Well, if you didn't read, I thought I left a review on Star Trek 3. That was sort of funny. And also the Cat's Eye one. That's funny as well. Sort of, I guess. Not really. Actually, no, don't read the Star Trek 3 one. This is my safe space.
Let's get off the Star Trek 3 one.
That's not fair. That's not cool.
I rewatched it and just... Okay, I won't read that one.
I like the review where... What was the one you saw, Zainab?
One thing I like about Star Trek is... And I'm saying this. Just how... I guess because they made it in the 60s, they didn't have to try to make the names. Like you're saying, I hated Christopher Lloyd as Scrooge.
Yeah. Yeah. Krug, yeah.
It's like, I fucking hate Scrooge, but I love Bleeblorp.
Yeah.
You know?
The names are really terrible. Like, even, it's in plain sight now because it's so common, but Spock, is that not the stupidest name that was ever given to a character? He doesn't even have a first name. His name's just Spock.
Yeah. Splorcons.
Yeah. I love the Star Trek movies because they're action movies with like actual old people in them. Like at the time, like they're like action movies, but like William Shatner is 60 in them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's not like...
He's fucking...
He's not, and he's not like Liam Neeson 60, where there's like, he keeps himself in shit. Like he's got a gut. He just looks like shit. I love all the Star Trek movies for the fact that they have TV actors who are now meant to take on movie star roles and are kind of like not really up to the task at all. It just is very sweet, you know.
On your screen here, it's new films from Friends. Right.
Wait, I forgot. If I'm still streaming, haven't I?
Go back, stream it again. Who's watching the one on the top left?
Oh, that's Will Sloan.
Oh.
He just watches pornos, unapologetically. But he's like watching them from an artistic route where he's like, oh, I watch gay porn.
This.
Yeah.
The thing of... I haven't listened to Michael and us in a while, but one of them is obsessed with porn.
Yeah, Will Sloan.
Friend of the pod, is he?
Not
or
in
is
a-
the other fella?
Luke Savage is a friend of the pod. Not in a horny way, just in a sort of like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's better or worse. You know what I mean?
I think it's worse. Here, this is the one I was looking at. Stavy Baby's review of Bugonia. The guy who plays the cop is really sexy. 5 stars and a heart.
It really did highlight how fat he was.
Yes, it did. You were saying like, I think he's a bad actor, but I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's a bad actor, but he has some other quality that makes him interesting in that role, which is just how bizarre he looks, you know?
Yeah, I think it was just so out of place. I didn't think. I would say, so Bugonia is the film we both watched.
Yeah,
It's in
we didn't even say
cinema.
that, didn't we? Bugonia is based on the 2003 movie Save the Green Planet. Both are about a...
Korean.
Did I say Korean? Yeah, Korean.
You didn't say Korean.
South Korean, didn't I?
No, you said 2003.
Oh. I saw it last year with the director there to answer questions. And, well, I'd already seen it before. I had it on DVD in college. And it had one of these covers where I just thought it looked really obnoxious, so I never watched it. And then one day I was desperate. I just had to have a movie on, so I put it on, and I was like, it was like kind of my introduction to like Korean movies, where in a lot of these things where they just like multiple genres, they're just like completely crazy, but also like they're the way that you could do that with Bollywood. But it'll be like, oh, it's like an action movie or a romance and all this, and it's stuff that genres that I'm not really into. Whereas the South Korean ones are like, here's a horror and like a schlocky blockbuster, and then straight up comedy, and then a dark comedy. And sure enough, like it's like it's mental. It's a really mental movie.
Yeah.
And it's good crack. And then they were like, there's going to be an American remake, and I was like, oh, I don't know about that. But then the guy said that he was involved, so I was like, okay, I mean, maybe. And then he goes, my suggestion was that they make the CEO a woman, and I was like, that sounds like a terrible idea. I don't want to see a woman. I didn't even say the plot. It's about a conspiracy crank who kidnaps the CEO of a major company and tortures them to get them to reveal that they're an alien who's come down to like pollute the planet.
I liked that she was a woman.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it. Is there like the he thinks she's an alien, and then in the end, there's a spoiler now. If you're just listening.
All right.
She is an alien.
Yeah.
Right. But like, you know, what going into the film, you're like, all is not as it seems. You sort of, if you've ever seen it, you sort of get the idea. So there was a woman. And then, you know, if it was a normal film, there'd be like this sexual violence edge to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but then they like chemically castrate each other.
Yeah, they do that just to make sure nothing is happening here. That is.
Yeah. I like that. I think
that's funny.
A funny way to like have the gender be there, but also not, if you get me.
I know, yeah. I didn't even think about that because I was like looking at it and comparing it to the other movie, and I was like, how are they going to do this bit? And then what are they going to do any different things? And they did, and so I was kind of entertained throughout, even though I didn't like it. But Zainab was like, by the end, she was just like, oh, fuck it. She just wanted to leave. She was like, it's so boring. And I think, would you be fair to say, Zainab, you responded to how repetitive it was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, it was very anti-political activism.
And it was very anti-political activism. But
Because there was that bit where he was like, I was on the left, I was on the right, I tried all I was on the entire political spectrum, and it kind of made everyone sound like absolute cranks.
Yeah, and
Yeah, my takeaway was when I was watching it, I was really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it ended, I was like, none of that meant anything.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, the guy who says all that about that, like, he's like, I did the whole spectrum. I went from Marxist Leninist to alt-right. And then he's like, and now I realize the truth is that there are aliens and they're controlling us. And then that in the film, that is the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then it's like, his comments then on the meaning of all this political activism and irrelevant because he lives in a world where aliens are controlling everything. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, by virtue of having the aliens be real, it removes any politics from it, in a way.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that
apart from like the overt politics of like, you know,
men's rights activism.
There's like a ruling class or something.
Right.
You know,
in I think I thought that the whole kind of men's rights activist or manosphere stuff didn't really attach itself very neatly to what the original movie was doing, you know. It seems like they'd be the most natural bedfellows in the world, but it wasn't, it turns out. But I wanted to comment on the efficiency of storytelling in the South Korean one, where it's like minute 5, the CEO has been kidnapped, you know? Ooh. He just does like straight away, he's like, here's what my plan, he's like, aliens are controlling everything. And there's also like, you know, there's like at the start of Bugonia, there is like a montage of like bees. And in the South Korean one, there is a homemade montage that he's made himself of just like crazy drawings and diagrams and stuff like this. And then what they have is like a CEO character, which is like, could be in like a Disney movie, as in they're just kind of like bumbling, ignorant, arrogant, you know. What company do they work for? They work for Pollution Incorporated. It doesn't matter, you know?
But first of all, I like the run-up because I know one of the things it did nicely was, there were a few like rug pulls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one of the good ones is like, you have these guys who are in a normal film, you'd be like, yeah, they're eco-terrorists or something. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, actually, you like these, you're sort of invested in these guys now, and it's like more to do with aliens than anything else, you know? Yeah. I like getting to know them.
Yeah, before. I mean, that also, it helps because both of them are very good. Whoever played his buddy, who I don't know the name of that actor, and then Jesse Plemons, who was like pretty much amazing in almost everything I've seen him in. It made me want to maybe download Game Night again. You know, people have been sharing that, where he played like this kind of comedic foil, or not comedic foil, but basically he's the neighbor who never gets invited to the game night that Jason Bateman is doing. Right. And then he sees him coming in carrying a paper bag filled with like tortilla chips. And he's just like, it's a lot of tortilla chips. And Jason Bateman's like, 2 for 1. And he's like, I don't see how that's profitable for the Frito-Lay Corporation. He's just like, while holding his little dog. It's like, and I was like, God damn it, he's really good. He's just got that great face and that great delivery.
He's like a real intensity. Like when we did the review of Civil War, I can't remember if you meant this as a compliment or not, but that one scene with him, it was very clear that was nearly like what the whole film was written about. You know, where he has pink sunglasses and he's like, what sort of Americans are you? There was one bit that was actually tense in the film.
Yeah.
He seems to do a lot of heavy lifting. And I've seen him in a few things now where I'm like, he's, like I said to you, is he just one of those good actors with bad taste? But you think it's his agent?
I don't know. I mean, like, maybe it's just that the projects on paper look pretty good. Maybe he's drawn to characters and, you know, it's not really about the script. But, like, you know, he was in Killers of the Flower Moon. He was in Game Night. He's in Civil War. He was in Fargo season 2. Yeah, he played, like, the dopey FBI agent. And apparently in the original version, it was kind of Leonardo DiCaprio was meant to play the FBI agent, and he was meant to play the role that Leonardo DiCaprio played, and it would have been told more from the FBI agent's point of view. But then after talking with indigenous peoples, they were like, actually, no, we need to flip this around, where the FBI aren't actually the heroes, you know? We need to delve into what's happening here.
It would have been a better film, I think, with Jesse Plemons playing Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. I mean, it was never going to happen because Martin Scorsese and DiCaprio's relationship and the A-list kind of pull. But it would be like, you know, when you have like, apparently Richard Jewell, if you've ever seen that, Jonah Hill was originally meant to play Richard Jewell, and then he had to drop out, and so they pull in Paul Walter Hauser at the last minute, and you're like, thank fucking God. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, why can't roles be decided like that? You know? Like, I think DiCaprio did a very good job, but like, there is something about him and the way he grew up and the way he is. He's just Leonardo DiCaprio. He's not going to be Jesse Plemons. Jesse Plemons is going to bring something to that role which DiCaprio will never be able to bring to it. Yeah. You know?
In the house, one of my housemates has been putting it on, so I was reading a few bits of the what's his name? Fellow we were just talking about.
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, the Scorsese documentary series.
Yeah.
He's much less likable than I thought he was.
Really?
Have you seen this?
No, I haven't seen it. I've seen like little clips of him, and then I've read a lot of stuff about him. But yeah, what's unlikable about him?
He's just very like. Now, in fairness, he makes good movies, but he really buys into himself as a brand. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird quality I find in some people where he's like talking about films he made in his 20s, and he's still like caught by their genius. You know what I mean? Like there's no remove. He's not like, you know, it was an interesting idea I was playing with. He was just like, and you know, like, it was so clever because this, you know?
Bizarre. Yeah.
It's just, again, you're like, they're good films. They're great films. But it's like, there's no humbleness there.
I think when you get to a certain age, you do start looking back at your life like they are chapters in a book, you know? Like, I imagine that he is able to watch the stuff that he's done in his 20s with an amount of distance and see things that he wasn't really aware that he was doing, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
But I would say, like, that sort of arrogance probably is required if you're going to make some sort of movie. No, it has to be these flowers. No, it absolutely has to be this thing. It's like, why? You know, the producer comes over and go like, well, if you make it like, if we do it in this warehouse over here instead of over here, then we'll save like $1 million. And it's like, you don't understand, you know?
Yeah.
Wait until you see, you know?
There's another bit. I'm basing a lot of this off two sort of moments in one of the episodes. He's talking about, I guess he was making like this sort of, I don't know, like they weren't like DIY films, but they were like the independent films, you know? And then he made some like Bonnie and Clyde rip-off film.
Right.
And he was, the way he talks about like this reaction he got from his peers. And instead of it was like, you know, the point being that he made this like really shit film just for the money.
Yeah.
Like he sold out, and then it was like, you know, they all turned their back on me. It was like I had the plague. And the way he says it, it's like, it just feels like he doesn't see their point at all. Right, you know, right. That maybe they're not as interested in him anymore because he seems to be gone in this like,
right, yeah.
You know, he doesn't understand why they didn't appreciate the move.
Right, yeah.
Even now. I don't know. Like, it's not, I don't know. It's just not, outside of him, I never appreciate it.
Yeah. I think it's like if you're like celebrated and then you're not, it can be like, oh, I thought these were my colleagues and collaborators, but it turns out that they're just, I'm only as good as my last picture. But that's the way, the way I read about it in one of his books. it wasn't, he didn't write the book. It was somebody had written it, but based off of a series of interviews with him. And one of the things that he kind of said was, I think he showed the film to somebody. The film you're talking about, if I have it right, there was some film anyway where it's like, he made it kind of like, this is a really good for the money thing, okay? And he made the conscious decision that it was like, I could continue on going down this path and making money this way, or I could like take a gamble and bet on myself and go this other way. And that's the way he decided to go with it, you know? But apparently there was some guy who was like, I think he was a lecturer, one of his kind of, what's the word? Like mentor figure, who basically said, "Oh, that's I think was it Cassavetes or somebody who said you made a beautiful pile of shit, okay, or something like that."
I think the quote that was in the thing, it was like, I think it was Cassavetes hoaxed him because you just waste a year of your life making a giant piece of shit.
Yeah. One of the biggest pieces of shit.
Don't do it again.
Yeah, exactly. And it was kind of just to be like, no, like, got to put your whole heart into these next ones. And I also did, it is relevant actually to talk about this with your man Yorgos, who I don't really have a lot of time for. I mean, I haven't seen Poor Things, but I was kind of like struggling to think of a movie that he made that I liked. I'd forgotten about The Favourite. But like, you know, the way he made like a movie every year with like, for the past 3 years, he's made a movie every year with Emma Stone. And you're kind of like, all 3 of them, you're kind of like, I don't think you have enough left in the tank. I think you need to go away for a bit, you know?
Yeah, so he made The Lobster.
Yeah. Which I like, I think. I'm not sure. It's fine.
So I just feel, with all his films, I'm like, I can see why you'd enjoy watching it, but I don't understand why you'd like to see it again, or why you'd think about it, you know? Like, I always feel like I'm missing something, you know? Yeah.
I found him very
like with
flat.
The Lobster, sort of like mad, you know? It's like if you don't get married, you get turned into an animal.
Yeah.
And then, so you better get married, and then the guy tries to escape, you know? And then I can't remember how it ends.
Yeah. I mean, most of the movies are like killing of a sacred deer. This thing happens, and then this thing happens, and anyway, that was a nice bunch of kind of moody images, and we can all go home, you know.
Yeah.
And The Favourite is not dissimilar, but it's kind of
Favourite's my favorite.
It is, yeah. It's really good, but it's anchored by like Olivia Colman's like just like career-defining performance. You know, like, this. Yeah.
I think it's like, it's just a bit more grounded in something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Emma Stone is plotting around this like completely incoherent like woman in absolute power.
Yeah,
you know, that's like something to grapple with.
Yeah,
where it's like Killing of a Sacred Deer. It's like Colin Farrell's trying to grapple with this freaky kid who. Freaky,
I don't even remember.
What I mean?
I don't remember what happened. But you know, like,
then, what did he make after that?
Did he make?
Try to go through all his films. He did one favorite, something of something that I never watched.
I never saw it.
Kinds of Kindness. I never watched it.
We did Poor Things, and let me look him up.
He made one that no one has watched.
Yorgos Lanthimos. So he did I'm just going to take it from The Lobster onwards. The Lobster, Killing of a Sacred Deer, The Favourite. Then 2023, Poor Things. Then Kinds of Kindness in 2024. Then Bugonia in 2025. So it's quite an achievement, you know, to do something like that. But yeah, with Bugonia, I looked it up as well. Just what you were saying about politics. it's written by like one of the guys who did like Succession, and he used to write for The Daily Show as well. And so once you know that, then you're kind of like, of course you did that. You know, this stuff in it where it's like, yeah, you're a real fail son. Yeah, and the Groypers are going to be out, and you know, that sort of like where you're like, I get it, man, I understand. You know, like it's, you know, like where people who listen to like Red Scare or something like that, and then they
why do they talk about Groypers?
They didn't, but no. What I'm saying is, like, if you're watching Succession, then that sort of stuff would come up in there. All of the kind of, it's kind of like American dirtbag politics. Sorry, dirtbag left podcast jargon thrown up there.
Yeah, you know? I sort of liked most of that stuff was sort of absent from Jesse Plemons' character. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't the one talking about Groypers. And I liked that it was Emma Stone. Any moment like that came out was like Emma Stone desperately trying to read this guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And just never getting it right.
Yeah. At the start of the movie, I was kind of excited about that idea of it because, like I said, there's like Pollution Incorporated CEO from Save the Green Planet, and when they find him, he's in an underground car park, and I believe he's drunk, and they kidnap him, and then they like shave off his hair. He's just like, what the fuck is going on? He's just completely confused, you know? And then what ends up happening in the movie is that sort of like, I don't really know how to put it, but like that kind of constant tonal shift that happens in a lot of South Korean films where like but it's also happening in this guy's performance, where, you know, Emma Stone plays it more naturally of just this sort of like somebody who is a very together person who's trying to figure out what to do, whereas the guy in the South Korean in the Korean version, he's like, it's like, okay, that angle didn't work, on to the next one. There's very clear delineation between them, but his performance has as a result has way more variety, and it kind of keeps you guessing, where suddenly you're like, you know, he's really silly and stupid and kind of pleading, and he's hilarious, and then other times he's like deadly serious, and then other times he just goes all over the shop, but it's a really disorienting performance. But the other thing that that movie has, which this one doesn't. Actually, sorry, probably finished that first point, which is with the Pollution Incorporated CEO, it just means he's a generic CEO. And it's a kind of a game between the way that the director referred to it as he thought he wanted to tell Misery from Kathy Bates's point of view. Okay. So I guess it's part of the same point I was going to go on to make, which is there is a very unique POV from Save the Green Planet. Okay. Where like, you are very much in that guy's head, the schizophrenic's head, where it's like the highs are high and the lows are fucking low, and everything is like, it can go from like colorful to deeply dark and kind of whereas the Bugonia is just like, our camera is planted here watching Jesse Plemons. There's no point of view of this man. It's just like, here are the events as they kind of transpire, you know?
It's a film where I hate the ending because I feel like I'd still hate it in the Korean one because I hate the way, like, you know, it just makes me very unsure about what anything means, you know?
Right.
Like, you know, he's right. Jesse Plemons, this character was bang on right.
Yeah.
So, like, is he schizophrenic, or is he just right?
Yeah, I mean, like the movie, at least I think, would Save the Green Planet. There's more stuff going on in it that kind of, and also it's not political, despite the fact that it's talking about like the environment, you know, and the one thing I was interested in was like, well, what would it be like if it was in the West, and what if it was like a girl boss, you know?
Yeah.
And then the other thing that he says at the start of the movie is they show her jogging with like an oxygen mask or whatever that respirator thing is, and it was kind of like they are trying to keep themselves in peak physical fitness to be able to fight us at every event. And that one did interest me, of the idea of like an Elon Musk style or like Peter Thiel style, where it's like I'm getting blood pumped into me to destroy you, you know. And I thought that
well, that's literally like your man Brian Johnson.
Yeah. But it would have been good to have that. Whereas they didn't do that. They kind of did a weird Gen X thing where they did a who's to say, you know? They did like the Charlie Brooker thing. Like there's an episode of, probably the worst episode of Black Mirror in my opinion. I know there's worse episodes of Black Mirror, but this is my least favorite. Is whichever one has Andrew Scott, where he like kidnaps somebody and tries to get on the phone with the tech CEO. And but anyway, at one point he gets on the phone with the tech CEO, who's played by Topher Grace, and it turns out Topher Grace is like, listen, man, I had no idea all this bad stuff was happening in my company. How can I help you today? And it's the Charlie Brooker thing of like, oh, I bet you didn't expect that. And you're just kind of like, you put in one too many sort of like rug pulls to the point where it makes absolutely no sense. Okay. Whereas like in Save the Green Planet, this guy is like, I was saying at the start that there's a montage of like all of this stuff where this guy is like getting the complete wrong end of the stick. He's seeing this guy drinking a lot too much, stepping out on his wife, okay? And he's like, look what they're doing. They're consorting in these rooms away from people. And it's like, no, like he's a bad man, you know, like and also the thing about him is that he doesn't care. He doesn't care that he's polluting the environment, you know? He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And he's killed this person. He's killed all these people and he couldn't give a fuck, okay? Whereas Emma Stone, at one point, she finds out that the reason that Jesse Plemons' mother is dead is because they were just trying to come up with a good drug to cure this illness, you know? Now, it would stand to make them a bunch of money, but also there is this kind of altruistic thing at the end of the day,
well,
you know?
I read that as... Oh, yeah. Well, there's a fake reason for why she's trying to save the mother.
Yeah.
And then there's a real one. So, like, she's like, oh, your mother's the one in the coma.
Yeah.
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 And then we were just trying to help people.
Yeah.
And then it turns out, well, I suppose it not turned out. Well, that turns out to be bullshit because she's an alien.
Yeah.
So,
well, let's say everything that he said was true, okay? Like, until up in that point, you don't know that. So you're watching the movie and it's like, where do my allegiances lie, with this guy or with this person, you know?
Yeah.
And what I mean is that in Save the Green Planet, it's like just generic businessman who's awful. And then he's like, goes from being panicked to alert to all over the place. And you're like, charting this and trying to figure out what's going on, okay? And it's like, could the crazy guy be sane? We don't know, you know? In fact, there's another bit in Save the Green Planet where, you know, it's similar. He breaks out of his chains or whatever you want to call them. Do you remember? And he like, same as her, he discovers like a secret room where he finds out that all these people have basically been chopped up, you know?
Yeah.
And so then when your man returns, he's like talking to him. But what ends up happening is he starts going, okay, I'll let you in. We are Andromedons. And he starts saying all this shit. But the camera also keeps cutting back to the room where he got all of this information from, do you know? So it's left ambiguous as to whether, is he just telling the truth or is he just making it up from stuff that he read in the guy's apartment, do you know? Or in the guy's house.
By the way, in the end...
Yeah.
Not to keep going back to the end. She is an alien.
Yeah, she is an alien. Yeah.
Like, so... And in this film, we're shown that he got the spaceship right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the implication is that he was bang on.
Yeah.
And my problem then with the ending becomes like, the ending might as well be like, it's not one of the, like, say, you know, it's a Sixth Sense, right? It's not like a deep film. But it's like, you can rewatch it and you can go like, oh, she, when he say this, she's not listening. You can see that now. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Whereas with the ending of this one, if you were to rewatch the film, you'd just be like, oh, I guess she's lying this whole time. And nothing she says means anything. And you know?
Yeah. No, but that's how I was watching it, because I already knew the ending of the Korean movie. Do you know what I mean? So I was kind of like, I guess I couldn't watch it that way. But it did make it like, when I watched the other one, it is a lot more, I think, entertaining, because it's there's a lot more stuff going on and it's very hyperkinetic. But on top of that, your man who plays the CEO, his performance is so, there is elements of that where it's like, oh, he is lying here, he's misleading here, and didn't mean something here. But the other thing that happens in it, which is also quite crucial, is that, in my opinion, is the genre, jumping around from genre to genre. So Stavros Halkias plays a cop, okay?
Yeah.
And the cop is like, he goes like, he basically does play a Cumtown character, which is like, he talks exactly like Stavros Halkias. He says dude and stuff like that. And then he's a cop who like molested a guy when he was babysitting him. It's implied anyway. And he's still trying to be his friend and be like, man, are we cool about that time that I like molested you? Like, I don't know what that shit was about. Like, you could totally imagine like Nick Mullen riffing out that character and Stavros Halkias like laughing, you know?
Yeah,
where it's like,
definitely.
I don't know if it was power tripping or something, but I just, you know. So, and then what ends up happening is he kind of comes to the house and he's in danger of like discovering what's going on. But then obviously they like well, not obviously, but he like brings Stavros up to see his beehives. Yeah. And then he like just because there's a big loud noise, and Stavros is alerted to something going on in the house, then suddenly he just like throws bees at him and then just like bashes his head in, okay? Yeah. Whereas so then you're just like, that's just a bit of a diversion, because I guess something else has to happen in the movie, you know? Whereas in the Korean movie, what ends up happening is this CEO gets kidnapped, and then there's a cop and he's like, I'm gonna find this guy. And then there's other guy who's kind of going like, but how? And he's like, I have a feeling and I have this idea and this kind of hunch or whatever. So then he goes into the wilderness, all right, where this guy is living. This guy lives in the middle of the woods, okay, at the top of a mountain. And he's like a beekeeper. And I think there's some sort of clue that the detective finds, like, this here would only be used by beekeepers, you know, or something like that. So he heads up, and then he pretends to be like a tourist who is lost, all right? And then he's like, can I trouble you for like a glass of water or something, you know? And so what ends up happening is they have this conversation of like, there's these amazing scenes of like, you know, your man's got the monitor on, but he needs to find a way to turn it off without your man becoming suspicious, you know? And there's all these things. And then he tries to tell him about like, I'm just spoiling this movie, but whatever. He's basically going like, he notices some stuff about the aliens, and so he asks him about the aliens, and they start having a conversation, and your man starts to open up to him, and he kind of feels like maybe we have this thing going, you know. Meanwhile, the guy down in the basement, the drugs are wearing off of him, so he's trying to get your man to notice him, you know. And then I remember that like I might be getting scenes jumbled up, but basically there's like a cop who's outside. The cop is like outside now, and then the whole basement is soundproofed, so he can't get his attention. But then your man is like reaching his hand up through like the gravel, you know, and you know the guy who's the kidnapper sees this and is trying to keep the conversation with the cop, you know. And basically it's just like standing on your man's hand, just being like, I don't know, I'm not sure. You know, there's all these like little moments, you know. But then what ends up happening is something gives him away. And the cop like goes down to that beehives and to get some like a quiet, I guess, you know, which the beehives are on a cliff face. And he's like the camera's spinning around him. It's like Silence of the Lambs. He's got the phone out and he's trying to find the reception and he's ringing back to base. He's like, I found the guy. He's a freak up here in the mountains. And then he turns around, sees your man, full beehive gear, and he's like, I thought you call me a freak, you know? And then he like throws this pheromone that's been established earlier on over him, okay? And then the bee starts stinging him, and then the guy runs off a cliff and smashes his head off some rocks. And it's like this. The movie was like this goofy comedy, and then it took a break to be like this detective hunting this guy, and like again like Silence of the Lambs or like Manhunter or something, you know. And then it goes back to being a goofy sci-fi film, and then there's a bunch of other shit that happens in it. But ultimately, I was very affected by that scene when I saw it. I was like, holy shit, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could be like, wow, that's really funny. And then all of a sudden be like, this guy is terrifying, like the next, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was like, how is this film going to handle that? And it turns out they just go like, oh, he shows up and I bash his head and it's done. And it's kind of like, did you just feel like you needed to get that out of the way? Like, why did you want to make this movie? Like, what's compelling you? Like, what are you bringing to this exactly?
Yeah.
Do you know?
I feel like they included Stav's bit because someone insisted that, well, you have to do the cop bit. You know what I mean? Like, the film would have worked entirely without that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Didn't need to be there at all.
I also have a theory that Will Tracy, who wrote it, who did the Succession stuff, who is kind of clued into that Dirtbag Left podcast place, I genuinely believe, because Stavros Halkias was approached for this, okay? I believe that they were like, hey, look, here's the Greek guy I've seen, you know? And he's like, I gotta get this Greek guy, Stavros Halkias, one of the biggest, literally, and, you know, the Greek guy. We need to have him in the film. Is there a character that he can play in the film? Or he can play the cop, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It felt like something like that, where they're just like, and here's the cop bit. What do you think of the very end, where it's like, you know, we gave you a chance as people to get the act together, and I guess we're going to kill you now.
Yeah, I don't mean, I'm never a big fan of stuff like that, the Gen X thing where it's like human beings are naturally savage, they're always going to kill each other. What about, it's really bone cancer in children stuff, isn't it? You know, where that's that level of kind of like,
the analysis,
you know,
isn't it? Yeah.
But like,
because the thing is, like, dinosaurs, you know, there's a bit where she's like, the dinosaurs are good because they just, you know, whatever, they're hung out.
Yeah.
And this is exactly the same level of analysis. But like, dinosaurs were doing fucked up stuff to each other.
Probably.
Why,
I mean, like,
why do you like them?
Yeah. Well, human beings are just killing each other. Dinosaurs aren't killing each other. But what ends up happening at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, I don't know if anybody cares. Instead, the guy is an alien. But as well as that, he does something, and suddenly he's got all these physical attributes that the guy said the alien has. He's got extra long earlobes and he's got a big gullet like a frog, okay?
Right.
And he comes up to the spaceship and he's like, why the fuck did you leave me down there so long? And they're like, sorry, I thought we'd come back in 10 years. Like, fucking blow this shit up. I can't even look at it anymore. So then so then the planet just blows up, okay? We just see Earth. And like Earth blows up, and then what they leave us with is like just like the silence of space, and then this kind of music starts to like fade up, and then a TV floats up and just starts playing like the home videos of the crazy guy, you know. So there's no like, it's not like a political thing. It was more like, you know, oh, wouldn't it be funny if it turns out he's right, and then he's right, and then it's done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also it's different because Emma Stone, she like sheds a tear for Earth and she's sort of affected by it, and it's like these poor people, when will they learn, you know? Whereas this one is more just like, no, there's a crazy guy, and then there's a movie where there's a bit of like a thriller, and then it just ends with him being mental. Do you know? It is what your man said it would be. It's Misery told from Kathy Bates' point of view, do you know? Which I find a lot better, to be honest, you know?
Yeah.
Because let's say with Eddington and like contemporary movies that deal with conspiracy theories, like there's just no way to avoid looking at somebody is saying something about our current moment, you know? And then when they do, it's like you say, it's like, oh, they're aliens. And I was like, well, now you just feel like you wasted my time, you know? Like,
yeah. And even on another level, there's bits that were funny, but then when you think back of them, they're not funny anymore. Like,
yeah.
Because he was right. You know, when he's like torturing, he's like, you know, the electrical readings on her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then he nearly kills her, and then he's like, I'm so sorry. I had no idea that you were the queen.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you thought he was mad. That was funny. But then he was right. She was the queen.
Yeah.
And
I also just thought it was shot in a very boring way.
I liked how it was shot. I thought
it's just like you got a lot of like back and forth between characters, and it was literally like it was almost like a TV show. Do you know what I mean? It was like here's her talking, here's him talking, here's her talking, here's him talking. Same shot again and again, ping ponging back and forth. Whereas the other movie is just so, you know, hyperkinetic. It just can't sit still. Like, for example, in the other movie, and this is the last time I'll talk about it, we'll wind that down, this discussion, but one of the other very funny scenes in it is when the guy starts saying the plot of what's happened, you know, like, here's what the aliens are doing, okay? It's accompanied by a montage, okay? And they've like tried to recreate like 2001 A Space Odyssey with the like ape smacking the bone off of the ground and stuff like that, but they have a guy who's very obviously in a costume, and they've also like used real footage from concentration camps, okay, of like bodies being bulldozed into pits in the ground. And then they'll have like air pollution, all this sort of stuff. They'll have like cartoons. It's just basically, they're like, I don't want your brain to be like, you know, there's not going to be a second in this movie where your brain isn't going to be stimulated by something, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas this movie was like all of his other stuff, it's a lot more long, drawn out, sort of like slow, you know, very neat kind of compositions.
Yeah.
I
didn't mind any of that.
Yeah. I guess it's just preference.
There was one thing that annoyed me was even emotionally I found it a bit all over the place. Like, you notice the bit where she's like, oh, the reason your mom's in a coma is because you blah blah blah, this is a test, and if you want the cure, here, it's in this thing in my car.
Yeah.
You know, the antifreeze. And then it's like the guy goes and like kills his mom, and you see like, and then it's sort of then it's back to the basement, and no real repercussions of that. And then even the way where she's like, I thought someone would have stopped you pouring antifreeze. It's nearly like I didn't like that. I thought it was
I was really surprised by that, because I think in the Save the Green Planet, I could be wrong, but I think he shows up and his mother has already died. No, maybe he does kill her, but you know, because of your man's performance, you know, while he's been away, the CEO has been doing research, you know, so suddenly he gear shifts and he's like, all right, I'll let you in on the secret now. Suddenly he's very I can't remember exactly how it happened, but basically it made more sense in the original movie. Whereas because it's a remake, that bit had to happen, but it just made no sense because it didn't feel like it had been built up to or earned, and it felt like, you know, such a cruel thing for Emma Stone to do, you know?
Yeah.
All things get like, obviously she's been locked in a basement and she's pissed off, okay? But like, the thing is, you would imagine that she would have given him that task to give herself time to get away. And then she's still there when he gets back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing that made no sense, you know?
It's like a really dark thing. Like, it was shocking to watch. And then it doesn't seem to like, he doesn't seem to be any really more upset than he was. It just didn't change anything for anyone. Oh, well, fair play to him.
Yorgos, you've done it again.
I'm gonna get a glass of water.
That's the end of the free bit. Go to patreon.com/CelticLigers for the rest of this episode and other goodies.